up guys, your boy Jay Bless here. Welcome back to another tutorial. We're going to do a mid-high skin fade comb over this time. You're going to wet the top down, comb it over to the direction you want it to go to. With a 1.5, you're going to take all that bulk off to kind of make it easier for you to see what you're doing. Remember to go straight off of the scalp. Use your comb to kind of get that little excess hair in there so you can get nice and even. Next thing, close up your clipper. Create your first guideline all the way around the head. Use your reference points, eyebrows, occipital bones, stuff like that. Go ahead and remove all this excess bulk. Now with your trimmer of choice, you want to take the hair down even shorter. Using a trimmer allows the electric shaver to take the hair down even shorter without irritating the skin too much and causing razor bumps and razor burn. Now you don't have to move to your electric razor right away. You can go back to your clipper, open it up, and you're going to create your first guideline about 1 inch from the last guideline you created. And then on the clippers, guys, the one that I'm using on the Ergo, they have these notches and they're click by click. You can just work your way up, and it's pretty easy with these. After that, you're going to slap on your number 1 guard, open it up, and in the same way you're going to do the technique, notch by notch, blend it out. Listen to your clipper, watch where it's cutting on that cutting blade, and look at how I'm holding the clipper nice and steady. I'm not really jamming it up in the head or anything like that. It's pretty nice and smooth. Use the wrist, use the shape of your clipper to guide you and go off of the head. Next, slap on your half guard, and you're gonna want to start hitting it where you can barely start hearing it. You don't want to go too high into that with your half guard. And then you're going to do the same way, notch by notch. Use the corners, use the angles, be light, and then just keep hitting it until you feel pretty confident about this step. And then you're going to move on to your 1.5 again. And same thing, close it, hit it until you start hearing, the hair cutting. And once you start hearing the haircut, you want to start moving that gradually and then work your way up. Notice how the hair is falling on a different angle right here. So you kind of want to hit it slightly towards that angle and then switch over to your clipper over comb. This will help you get that blended in a lot easier than using a guard, because if you use a guard, you're going to compromise that head shape. So move over to your clipper over comb, and then for this, you kind of want to go in and then bring it out slightly towards you, about a 45-degree angle, and then work your way in little by little. You don't want to go in there and then push the comb in, because that will also compromise your head shape, and you really don't want to do that. Now, there's definitely no reason for you to be rushing these techniques. You should definitely take your time, take it easy, and then just work your way up to the speed. Speed comes with practice, and don't overwhelm yourself with this step. You can always use your guards if you want to. It just requires a lot of flicking, and I suggest using the clipper over comb just to get you another technique in. And then once you get that out of the way, you're going to want to use your shaver. And notice how I'm going down with it. Going down kind of makes it easier for the shaver to take the hair down when I go up with it. So when I go up, I want to create that first rough line, and then once I create that first rough line, you want to slightly tap your shaver down. And what I like about these Andis foil shavers is they have the spring, so they're spring loaded and they won't expose your line too much, so you can play with it at different angles and different pressure points. So keep that in mind, and then listen to it as well. Look at what you cut and listen to what you cut. Now, word of advice for your shaver, I suggest you guys change it at least every month if you can, and if you cannot, every 3 months is good, but change that shaver foil because it does lose its sharpness. Now, when it comes to your shear work, you really want to take your time here. I've cut myself plenty of times, and I continue to cut myself plenty of times, so it's just what it is. So I use the 7-inch Hattori Hanzos, and they're pretty sharp, so you want to be careful with those. And a good technique for the hair on top, notice how I'm grabbing a certain amount of hair. The amount of hair that I'm grabbing is about almost the same width of the comb, so you want to keep that in mind as a little technique. Use your comb as pretty much a section across the head, and then work your way down in the length. You don't want to cut too much, because once you cut too much, it exposes the head shape. So you want to take it easy with the shear work up top. Leave the front a little bit longer than the back, because most of the time for comb overs, it's for the straight hair, it's really hard for it to comb over if it's super heavy. So you want to keep it longer in the front and then slowly work your way shorter so you get it to where that point where it lays down nice and even. And on this side is where you want to be most careful, because if you cut that spot too short, that hair is just going to stand up because it wants to go forward. I don't know if you guys remember that angle that the hair was growing into. So I just worked my way slightly. And then what I'm going to do next is do pretty much cutting corners. So bring the hair up, you know, at a different angle. See how I'm grabbing at a different angle, and then cut that corner off. This is considered as cross-checking your work. So I don't know if you guys noticed, I was behind him pulling the section straight off of the head, and then I went to the side and pulled it straight off of the head just to kind of get those corners out to where it flows nice and even. So right here you want to just work your magic, you know, close your eyes a little bit, have some fun with it, be careful with your fingers, and then just keep cutting the top till you get it nice and blended. And then I like to use the shears for the front lineup to kind of get that excess hair that's over the bangs, to get those nice little corners, the little 90-degree corners. This is a great little technique to show that you are attentive to detail, you know. It's just little things like this that make or break the haircut. Now for me, my next step is the blow drying step. This is probably one of my favorite steps because blow drying helps with the style. If you don't have a blow dryer, I highly recommend investing in one. It helps you a lot with any hairstyle you want to achieve. Just be careful with these high heat settings because these blow dryers can and will burn the heck out of your scalp. Now for the lineup, I highly recommend and advise you guys to start from the middle towards the outside corners. You kind of don't want to start from the corners in, because you can and you probably will expose your lineup pretty damn bad. So just be easy with your lineup. And to me, honestly, I kind of surprised myself because I am recording with my left hand and I am actually using my Sony a6500 camera with this, and I'm lining up with my right hand. So if I could do it, you can do it too. You know, it's pretty simple. Just be easy with it and don't push it back. Remember, lineups make or break the haircuts. If you guys need any advice or any help with any type of haircuts or any type of hair structures, feel free to comment, you know, let me know. This helps me create more content for you guys, so feel free to it. Once I'm completely satisfied with the haircut, we move on to the next shave. I like to wrap the towel around the collar just to kind of keep the lather from going down into the shirt. When it comes to razors, you guys want to switch them out every single client. It doesn't matter if it's put in to disinfect it or not. That's just disgusting. Replace it, throw it away, put a new one on every single client. Be nice and easy with the blade. Don't be too heavy. Don't put too much pressure, because if you put too much pressure, you're going to create razor burn, razor bumps, irritating, and all that nasty stuff that we do not want to deal with. So just be easy with the next shave. So here we're going to go a little bit closer for you guys. And if you guys are interested in the type of razors that I use, they're just the Derby Professional blades. It's a green box, comes with a pack of about 100. So highly recommend. I mean, they do the job right. Nice and smooth shaves. Sometimes you might get a little dull one here and there, but it's not a big deal, you know. Once you guys are completely done with any type of shave with the razor, finish off with an aftershave, please. I know my shot is kind of blurry here, but I tried my best. So I'm using the Proxima aftershave. Really good, it smells amazing. Aftershave helps keep the client's skin clean after the cut. Once you're done, wipe them off, put a little bit of talc powder on your brush. Makes that contrast on that fade pop a little bit, you know. And that's it, guys. I hope to see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you guys need any word of advice in our barber industry. I am more than happy to help you guys out, and I am trying to upload more consistently, so just bear with me, and I'll see you guys on the next one.